Welcome to the 57th edition of Spooky Reviews from Spooky Ventures. In this edition, I'm looking at the new Blu-Ray release of Creature from Black Lake from Synapse Films. Before I get to the movie itself, I wanted to mention a little detail, and I mean a little detail, about the packaging that just really stood out for me and I really liked it. Typically, Blu-rays come in boxes that have a blue border. I assume that's because of the word blue misspelled as it is in Blu-ray. This one, though, comes in a black box, presumably because of the Black Lake. It's a very small detail, as I mentioned, but it makes for a unique-looking product, and I really appreciate that kind of detail. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the actual movie. Given the similarities of the title, you might think that this would be a Creature from the Black Lagoon type of movie. That's not true at all. The creature in this case is Bigfoot. Now, this film was originally released in 1976, and it was the type of movie that was intended to fill screens at drive-ins. I know that because of one of the bonus features, but I'll get to that later. I really wasn't a drive-in movie type of person, so I will have to take that on the word of the person involved in the movie. Now, there are a couple well-known actors involved here, most notably Jack Elam and Dub Taylor. The whole cast does a good job, though. Most of the characters are pretty well-rounded and believable. The story centers around two college students from Chicago who travel to Louisiana to try to find the creature in the title. Now, they definitely wind up tangling with the skunk ape, but they also have some interesting dealings with the locals along the way. There really is a great balance between lighthearted fun, humor, suspense, and horrors. About the humor, I would say that I laughed out loud. I would not say that I laughed out loud, but I definitely chuckled quite a few times during the flick. Now, I mentioned the bonus features earlier, and part of that discussion ties into talking about the movie itself, so let me get to those next. We get just a few bonuses here. Two of those, a trailer and a radio spot advertising the movie, are basically throwaways. It also includes the usual audio commentary option. The fourth actual bonus feature, though, is my favorite. It's interesting and quite substantial. That is a featurette with director of photography Dean Cundy. Now, he talks about the making of the movie. And one of the points that he brings up is the aspect ratio of the film. This was shot with a widescreen approach and widescreen lens. Now, that is an important point when talking about this particular release. He said that it worked fine for the theatrical run, but when it was shown on TV and released previously on home video, they simply cut the sides off to fit TVs, as was the standard at the time. They even show a couple of short clips demonstrating what it looked like. So, that takes us back to the movie. My understanding is that this is the first widescreen home video release of the film. The movie has also been completely restored from the 35mm camera negative. It looks and sounds very good. Now, seeing the contrast between the cropped video and the full video, it is obvious how much was lost the other way. This movie was filmed on location in Bayou Country, and those wide shots really, really are necessary to bring that whole feeling home. So in terms of an overall review, this is a forgotten gem from the 1970s. While it's not a masterpiece, it is a very good movie. It's entertaining and has its fair share of scary moments. I'm glad they took so much care making this a special release. This film really deserves it. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.